Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. Hope you guys are well wherever it is that you are around the world. It is a Friday. It's a Friday and Saturday, Sunday. What? Yeah, it's that. Yeah, Friday. I mean, it's coming to the evening where we are. It's baking, still 30 degrees. Chelsea have got Tottenham on Sunday, which we will be previewing today. Before we even get into any of that, we'll obviously introduce Con in a bit, but we're going to go through some transfer talk. We're going to talk about the updates on Frenkie de Jong. We're going to talk about Fofana. We're going to talk about Aubameyang. There's quite a lot that we're going to go through together. But make sure, guys, that you're smashing that like button. Hit them likes both on GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. And smash that like if you think Chelsea are going to win on the weekend. Let's do this. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. Obviously, as you already know, we've been airing on both channels throughout this summer transfer window, bringing you not only myself, but people like Con, Pies, Ben Jacobs. You know, we've had quite a lot of people on here as well. So we'll be going through the transfer news. Before we do that, it's been a minute, Con. How have you been, mate? And welcome back to the channel.
Thanks for having me on again, bro. Always like talking football with you. We tend to see things, kind of the same. So it's always good, easy chat on this nice, lovely, hot day we have in the UK right now.
Yeah, the only thing that we're missing now, mate, is either an alcoholic drink or a nice lolly. One of the two, mate. That's what I like it.
You know, you can get them vodka ice lollies, bro. So 2 in 1, bro. We can have both.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about them. I'm going to order them. 100%. People in the chat, big up to every single one of you guys. We've got over 120 of you guys here already. Let's say hello to everyone in here. Chelsea Database, big up to you, man. This is big up to both Jem and Con. Big up to you, my man. Big up to Jamie as well. We've also got Akraf here. We've got Dylan here as well. Big up to you, bro. Nice to see you. Ilias, hiking with Martin. How are you doing, bro? I hope you're well. Mohammed, nice to see you. Jose, nice to see you. Who else we got? A GV, a Porvax, big up to you. Big Ron. Who else we got here? Faisal, big up to you, man. We are going to talk about Fofana. That is what we're going to get to. Don't worry. Do what Ryan said as well. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get these likes up as well. Chelsea fan 55, nice to see you as well. I hope you are well. But like I said, we are going to talk a little bit later in the show about the Chelsea and Spurs game. To give our thoughts and opinions, talk about Spurs, talk about Chelsea. We're going to do a tactical lineup as well. We're going to go through a formation between me and Con. Guess who? Jem, brother. Big up to Mike Green's in the house, Con. Big up to Mike Green, man. Big up to Mike Green. Nice to see you here, bro. Nice to see you. I have to get you on sometime, bro. That's something I'll have to reach out to you on as well. So we've got one here from Jose saying big up to Con as well. A lot of Con lovers in the house, man. Lots of Con lovers in the house. Right, let's get on with this, shall we, guys? Let's talk about the news that we've heard today in and around Pierre Aubameyang, wherever it is. There it is. So let's start with this right here. Breaking. Always intermediary is meeting with the Barca board right now. Operation Aubameyang to London is heating up from the man himself, the wool shagger, the sheep shagger, whatever it is you want to call the guy. We've had many different names for Gerard Romero through this summer period. Has commented on this. We've also got Tuchel is pushing hard for Aubameyang, and apparently he's very interested in the player. Supposedly Barcelona want around £20 million sterling for Chelsea to get this deal done. Chelsea have other ideas. Chelsea are saying that they are interested in Aubameyang, but they're only looking to spend around 10.5 million, a maximum of 10.5 million on the player. And I'll throw it to you, Con, first. Before we talk about the business side of it, I'm talking about the player. Aubameyang to Chelsea. Does that get you excited or not?
It would have done a few years back, mate. Not so much these days. Not a massive fan of Obama. What? Obama who?
Obama black clap.
like, don't get me wrong. Like a few years back, bro, he was a quality player. He got a golden boot in the PL. Like he knows how to finish. He knows the league. But these days, I question his legs. I question his attitude. We saw what happened with Arsenal. I think every club he's been to, he's had some sort of falling out with the manager over something. But obviously, him and Tuchel worked together before. Tuchel likes him. It's not one that gets me off the seat at all. It's one of those. It's like, it's not really one for me. But if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah, I mean, from the business side of it, what do you feel Chelsea should? What do you think would be the max budget you'd spend on a player like Aubameyang, bearing in mind his age? What's he, 33, 34 now?
I'd probably pay no more than 12 million max.
I think that's fair. And do you feel that he's a goal scorer?
Yeah, like when he went to Barca halfway through the season, I think it was in January. Like I think he got something like 13 goals in 15 starts or something like that. So he still knows how to finish, but then Chelsea and the creativity issues. How many chances will he get? I don't know. So yeah, it's one of those, bro. It's like if he comes, calm. If he doesn't, calm. Like I'm not really bothered either way. I'm not too invested in this one.
So you're not worried, like from the instance of like many of the Chelsea fans that feel like we need a goal scorer, we need to have someone else up front that can actually put the ball in the back of the net. I know we had Lukaku in last season, that didn't work out, but I still feel that the Chelsea fan base feel that we still need to have maybe that sort of number 9 that can be in front of goal to finish off the chances. Some people are not confident in Havertz. Some are confident in the Broha thing. Some people feel Broha might be the better option this year. I mean, Broha and Havertz are definitely going to obviously have it out for the position this year. But from my perspective of Aubameyang, I sort of sit on the fence of it because I think to myself, he can score goals and that's cool. But does he really fit the Tuchel system? And I think from looking at the players that we've brought in to this point, you could probably say that Sterling, Cucurella, and Koulibaly are 3 players that kind of suit the Tuchel system in terms of being able to having the adaptability, the versatility to their game. Aubameyang, all right, he's played under Tuchel. I hear that. I just don't know whether we'll get, and I agree with Con. If we would have got him when Arsenal got him, when no one was even looking at him, then I would have been all down for that. For 60 mil, I think it was they got him for. I would have been all down for it then for us to have got him. I was a big fan of Aubameyang before he came to Arsenal in the first place. I thought he was a very good striker. I still think he's a good striker. But I think Chelsea, again, just have to be careful with the pricing of the player. I think also the contract is another thing as well. And you only got to look at what he did at Arsenal as well, yeah? Because he had a bit of an issue with the ball, the hierarchy there. Incidentally disrupted the team as well. And there's stuff that I'm not really too keen on, especially with all the stuff that we've had on with Romelu Lukaku as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if we end up meeting the Aubameyang fee or not, or if we actually just get the job done. We'll have to wait and see. Heiko Mike says, Jim, last season you did the stats. We don't create enough in the first place, so goal scorers will struggle. Con, what do you feel in regards to what's more important from your perspective for Chelsea? Creators, goal scorer? Like, what is it you think Chelsea should be looking at?
Well, I've wanted a really good dribbler on that right hand side. I think we've kind of missed that since Eden. Someone who can create through the dribbling. That's why I was really a big fan of Rafinha. That creative right winger. He can also, he could even do stints at right wing back. Like he was perfect for this Tuchel system. So when he went to Barca, bro, I was in tears. But yeah, I really want someone who's a bit unpredictable, who's very aggressive, very direct. Takes his player on, can get balls into the box quick. Because these low blocks, bro, sometimes we just don't have enough players trying enough things, So we need someone who's a risk taker, who's brave, who can dribble, someone like a Leroy Sané. That'd be great. But yeah, I just don't see that happening, bro.
What's your thoughts on Kai Havertz? A lot of the Chelsea fan base are looking at him as and not understanding his use or feel that he's not good enough to play in that forward line. Do you think it's the player not being good enough, or do you just feel it's what's around him at the moment?
I feel it's more of him. I think what we've seen in pre-season in that first game at Everton, they weren't good enough. But then again, players are just finding the fitness. I'm definitely not going to be a guy who says Havertz isn't good enough just because, pre-season and his first game of the season, he didn't look the sharpest. I want to give him more time and really trust him in that number 9 role this season. Lukaku last season, he was playing even when Lukaku was in some poor form. Kai was on the bench. And then when Kai did play, I remember a lot of Chelsea fans saying that Chelsea played better, So short-term memories, I think, for some people. But I want to give him a little bit of time so he get up and running, Spurs, if he can do something good against Spurs, maybe get a goal, I think Kai Havertz, really gets going this season.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kai Havertz, and ultimately, it's very hard to look at it and feel that maybe he isn't good enough for Chelsea. I don't think that's the case. I do think he's on a bit of a tightrope at the moment in terms of having to kick on and show us what he's ultimately about more. Well, it's not about what he's about. It's about more the consistency element of his game. And we know that at the beginning of seasons, not even at Chelsea under Bayer Leverkusen, he's always been a slow burner, a slow starter, and he's never really kicked on. And that's something as he gets older that you'd probably expect him to sort of shake off and move forward. And if he wants to be put in, in the names of some of the top players across the world of football, he's going to have to do that. He's going to have to be more consistent in himself. He can't just be having long periods of being inconsistent and poor and not, non-effective, and then all of a sudden waking up and it's like, wow, where was this player at the beginning of the season? I love Kai Havertz. I do. I think he's a top player, but I think he's going to have. I think it's a big test for him this season to see what we get out of him. But moving forward, we're going to go on to Wesley Fofana because this is still going on. Pies brought out a comment earlier that basically says that Leicester are finally open to selling Fofana for a price close to 80 million. Leicester are looking for the replacement. Agreement between Chelsea and Fofana already there. The agreement between Chelsea and Fofana has been there for a while. We already know that Fofana wants to leave Leicester. The issue being Leicester want 80 million for him. Chelsea, I don't feel, want to pay that kind of money for him. The question really to you, Con, on this one, do you think Chelsea should go and spend 80 million on Fofana?
See, so to the people who kind of listen to my spaces, right? I'm a bit conflicted with this Fofana one because the player himself, I like him. I think he's a solid player. But that price tag is ridiculous. And there's some people telling me it's a bargain. Are you mad? No defender, in my eyes, no centre-half is worth £80 million. I'm sorry, that doesn't sit right with me at all. I get the position Chelsea are in, and getting a Fofana would be getting better something, I don't know, like a Pabard or something like that. I hear that 100%. At the same time, I can like the player and hate the transfer fee, if that makes sense.
Yes, and I am on the same wavelength as you. I think the player is very good. I think there's a lot about Fofana. I just don't think that he's worth 80 million. And I think, to be honest, I think Chelsea are in a position now where they've got two options. And the two options are quite clear to me. They either go and spend over 300 million on buying players that are overvalued because you're getting nearer to the end of the transfer market. Clubs are going into new seasons with these players, not really expecting to having to replace them. So ultimately you're knocking on a door trying to pull players from them when they haven't really probably got their backups or ideas in place to replace them. So you either go and spend that kind of money, but then next season or next summer window, we don't spend that money. I don't think we will be spending 200-300 million every summer. Ultimately, that then just tells me that we're rushing to just give Tuchel what he needs to try and kick on. Or we don't do that. We don't spend silly money on defenders not defenders, but on players overall that are overvalued. And in this case, I feel Fofana is overvalued at 80 million. Some people may disagree, but I think he is. You don't do that. You be a bit smarter about it. You may have to accommodate it for a season or so. And yes, people may not be happy with just having Azpilicueta there, Chalobah there. I get that. But it's about understanding your expectations of Chelsea as well, because for me, I know that we're not going to win the title. I don't expect us to. I would like us to close the gap in terms of points difference between Man City and ourselves. I think that would be the most important thing for me this season. And ultimately, just getting Champions League football I would be happy with this as well. We're in a transition. We're in a position where we're in transition. We're in a rebuild, which is what Thomas Tuchel's saying. And we're not going to be able to get every single player that we actually need to get done. it makes it harder when we're still looking at people like De Jong, and we're still looking at Aubameyangs and Zahas and whatever else, to then go and spend this kind of money on Fofana, because it's a lot of money to do it. So I think Chelsea are going to either commit to one more big signing and leave it there, or I think they won't commit to one of these big £80 million signings, and they'll sign a Zaha, an Aubameyang, and maybe another midfielder option or a centre-back option for half the price, if there is something out there to do it. I mean, there is options for the club to do that. I just don't know what option they're going to take. And what do you think, Con, Todd Bowley, this summer market, from what you've seen? Do you think that we're coming to a point now where the market's sort of narrowing? We're getting silly values on players like Fofana, which are too much. What do you think we should do now? Do you think we should just go and spend the 300 mil, or do you think that we should maybe look at it more cleverly and just like do as much as we can in one window and just move on to the next summer window and just try and catch players at a lesser price?
I don't think either way you could really be that wrong. Both sides make a lot of sense, because you want to give Tuchel the backing as soon as possible, right? But at the same time, you don't really want to be overpaying for players for the following season. You can get for much cheaper, you know. So I don't think if you sit on either side, you're particularly wrong. But I've accepted this window is going to be a bit different to the rest. I know it's not going to be a normal window for Chelsea. I think all of us should have known it wouldn't be normal. And the fact that we've been so aggressive and maybe overpaid or gave a contract and wages a bit higher than we should or probably normally would, I just think that's, it's just a strange window for Chelsea. It was 3 months behind. We might have to pay a bit of a premium, especially when it comes this late. So I don't know, to be honest. I'd probably still get Fofana, bro, because we still technically haven't replaced Christensen yet. So I'd still probably get him, but I really don't like the price. I can't lie, bro. I can't stress enough how much I dislike that price.
The problem with the price, Con, is he's only 21 or so. Yeah, he's a great prospect, a great talent, but you're lumping an 80 million price tag on a player coming into Chelsea Football Club who's going to already have pressure playing anyway because he's going to start. What if he doesn't? And I'm not saying he won't, but what if just say he doesn't go to plan, or he has a real bad injury? Touch wood, it doesn't happen, and we spent that kind of money on him. I don't know, mate. I'm just a little bit worried about. I'm just a little bit worried about how this may fall out. And when we look at the Roman era and the players that we bought in and spent loads of money on, and it hasn't worked, the Lukaku, Kepa, these players that we always sit there and go, why do we overpay? Why do we overpay? It was a panic buy, is what we hear a lot. It's a panic buy. Why are we panic buying all the time? And now it's gone to the point where we're in a position where, Leicester are literally forcing 80 million out of us for one of their players. And it makes it look like it's a panic. If we spend that money, it makes it look like this is a panic buy to me. That's what I think.
Now, Jem, you're spitting. It is a panic buy. Like, people might think, panic buy means a bad player. No. It doesn't always mean you panic to buy a bad player. Like, you can still panic buy a good player, because let me put it like this way. On what planet does it make sense to spend 80 million on a player that's not even top 5 in his position in the league?
That's true. Very true. And on top of that, to add more to it, why was he never in the mix of centre-backs prior to us not being able to get all the others that we were trying to get? If he was a target, why was he not like one of the main targets when we were looking at Ake? Why was he even looking at Ake when we could have got Fofana probably on a better deal? Because they would have at least had more time to try and sort out their position themselves, I think. Ultimately, Chelsea still are to blame for this, because we wasted time on looking at Ake. We were going in for De Ligt. We made it very clear that we didn't want to spend 80, 90 million on De Ligt because it was overpriced, and Bayern Munich came in and took him. Yeah. So what we're going to do? We went to Koundé. We know what happened there. I'm not going to go into it. Yeah. And then it's like, let's run back and just buy an 80 million pound defender. When our whole thought process was not to do that from the outset. Looking in, it made it look like to me that we didn't want to spend 80 million on a centre back because we didn't do that for De Ligt. So if we weren't going to do that for De Ligt, who is near enough the same age as Fofana, but is actually more proven because he's played Champions League football and for one of the biggest clubs in European football, why are we then going to go now and spend 80 million on him? Not that I don't like him. It's got nothing to do with him as the player. I think he's a good player. I really do. I want people to. I'm stressing this to people. It's not that I don't rate the player. I just don't get the thought process. Do you get what I mean?
No, I totally agree with you there, bro. Like, De Ligt is a better player than Fofana as of right now. They're both very young. They have a sky high ceiling. He's established himself at Juventus. He proved himself against the biggest teams in European football when he played for Ajax. He was a captain at 19 years of age, and you didn't want to pay that kind of money for him, but you'll pay that kind of money for Fofana. And it don't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then why did you waste your time with Kunde? What's the point? What was the point? Like, we got made to look like clowns, but the reality of that story was we kind of had somewhat agreed, and then we didn't follow through with it. So what was the point?
True.
And now we're spending up to 80 million on Fofana, man. It just doesn't sit right with me there. It doesn't. He's a great player, and this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying no to the player. I'm saying no to the price.
I agree with you. I think we can both agree on that 100%. And I want I want to stress that to people. We're not sitting here being negative because we don't like the player. We're just not. I'm just not sold on us spending 80 million on a centre back who, all right, is Premier League proven, but ultimately isn't proven in Champions Leagues and things like that. He's not got that sort of high-end name, if that makes sense, So I just feel that he's overpriced. Whether we do it or not will be interesting. We have to wait and see at a later stage. But then it just brings me on to, let's go to that in a second. Let's just get this out of the way, actually. Over 300 of you guys here, though. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure that we smash the like buttons as well. Let's get these likes up. Over 100 on both channels, please. Everyone, please hit that like button if you can. Share on your socials as well. You can find me and Con on Twitter if you haven't followed us already. Obviously, you can find Con as ConCFC on Twitter and me as CFC_Gem as well. So check that out. Chelsea Database says, we bought the most expensive goalkeeper, left back and striker in the Prem. Now centre back. Only at Chelsea. He's got a point, isn't he? Only at Chelsea. And we thought we were moving away from that. Do you remember when we was being told by rivals that we haven't got Sugar Daddy Roman no more and that we're not going to be spending that stupid money like we did under Roman Abramovich? And in our first season, we're buying £80 million for Farners and we've already bought £140 million worth of players. Yeah. Anyway. Nizar Kinsella came out of a comment earlier here, and it's staying on Fofana quickly. It says, Chelsea signed Fofana. Their total transfer spend will be the biggest in Chelsea's history and maybe the biggest in the Premier League history. Todd Bowley would be blowing Roman Abramovich spending out of the water in just 1 year, Con. What's your thoughts on that?
Rivals thought when we got American owners, like everything would stop. But now, bro, we're going bigger and better, It's crazy to think that, though, like how much money Roman put in. But I suppose context is important. You lost one world-class centre-half, one who, looked to be world-class centre-half. You got players leaving Alonso, like a few of the attackers want to leave, Lukaku wants to leave. So it's like, the context is important, like we won't be doing this every window. This is like a sort of specialist window. So, it's crazy to think about the kind of numbers, though, isn't it?
And you're right. I think we're in a position now where we're in sort of what we call a rebuild, a rebuild where if it is a rebuild, you have to spend some serious money. And that's because it's not only one position. There's multiple positions within this squad that need to be sorted. And I know some people favour certain positions more than other. Some people feel that the midfield is the real problem. Some people feel that the forward line is the real problem. Some people feel that we need to have more stability at the back and the wing backs. That's more their priority. To be honest, for me, the priority is all of it. It's just that we're not able to get all of it done. And even though we may get one of the areas sorted, and that does help, don't get me wrong, it improves us, we still suffer in other areas because we haven't been able to sort. And we're moving on from that into the midfield. And there's still lots of talks in and around Frenkie de Jong. Is he leaving? Is he staying? We had this comment here from Javi saying that Frenkie de Jong and Aubameyang, the same things happen with de Jong as with Aubameyang. The market is still open. We don't know what's going on, what's going to happen, is what he said there. Do you know what? Before I say what I feel about de Jong, I'm going to ask you, Con. This de Jong deal and anything to do with Barcelona seems to just get dragged out and take long. What is your thoughts on the de Jong saga to Chelsea, whether he's staying at Barca, if he's going? Like, how do you feel about the scenario? And what do you feel about the player?
Personally, I think he stays. Barca's his dream club. I think he will be pressured into lowering his wages. I think he will stay. I remember reading somewhere as well. His partner, she really likes life in Barcelona. Really
Yeah.
settled there, and obviously families are very important, ain't they, to footballers, about how settled they are. So I think he stays. And for me personally, I'd love De Jong at Chelsea. I think he's a great player. We see with Kovacic, his injury record, Kante's injury record. He'd be a great addition to the team. This current system, I think in a pivot he could do a job. I know some people doubt that, but I guess that's a bit subjective, I guess. But yeah, I like the player. I've liked De Jong for a long while. Like ever since I saw him at Ajax, absolutely through midfield, bro. Absolutely love the player.
Does he replace your beloved Jorginho though? If he does come, did you feel that he replaces your Jorginho, Con, if he comes?
I don't think so. I think Georgie needs to stay personally because he's probably the most durable out the three senior midfielders we have.
Yeah.
He's technically our only holder as well, and it'd be another big question if you asked out. Do you think De Jong could play at the more sitting and double pivot? Some people say yes, some people say no. So have somebody there who could do the job. I know some people don't like him, I don't think he's good enough. But if you play De Jong next to someone like Jorginho, De Jong can cover ground really well too. So we play a back
What,
five as well. So
you would play Jorginho and De Jong on the same team, like if we had them both. You think that would work? Both of them on the bench.
I think it could, yeah. I think the only one I wouldn't want to see would be a De Jong or Kante.
I think the perfect combination is Kovacic De Jong.
Yes.
I think that is unbelievable. I think you ain't able to get the ball off them. I think that is unbelievable. Like techers, like imagine trying to get the ball off them too. The balance, the progressiveness, the speed, the dribbling ability. Like that's good. Secondly, if you play Kante with De Jong, I think Kante would have to be the one that holds more. I think you'd have to allow De Jong to be more box to box, and I know Kante is the one that likes to get forward and intercept and whatever. So you'd have to ask him to drop. Jorginho, I think Jorginho would be the one that sits more, and De Jong would be more like the Kovacic role, and he would sort of roam around and link play and whatever else. But what worries me with Jorginho and Kante with De Jong is that I don't feel that I don't think they're the best. Like I think Jorginho is a great passer, but I think his tempo is very slow. That's always been my criticisms of him. I don't hate Jorginho. I've never hated him. I just feel that even though I feel he can make some very good passes forward, I don't feel sometimes he does it enough. And if he's going to play next to someone that's going to be progressive and energetic, a bit like what Kovacic is, then I don't want them to subsidise what they're good at to then always be not covering Jorginho, but getting as close as they can to Jorginho to sort of help out midfield. What I'm trying to get is if you've got Kovacic and De Jong, I feel like you've got that understanding of they're both very quick, they're both good with the ball, they're both progressive, they're both, you know what I mean? Like they're both just on the same par. Like you'll have that nice flow which we need in the system. With Jorginho, I just feel like a lot of our midfielders that play with him, obviously they go forward, but I always feel that ultimately that they feel that they have to be as close as possible to Jorginho because I think Jorginho does prefer a short pass. I don't think he always likes to do that long pass straight through or that killer pass. I think he's always someone that likes just building up play with short passes and, recycling the ball, which is what I feel. But it probably won't get him. And that's the ultimate thing I was going to say about De Jong. I don't think we'll get De Jong. I think this has took well too long. I think he wants to stay. I don't really get the situation, to be honest. Barcelona wanting to have a wage cut. He doesn't want to have a wage cut. But then Barcelona is saying that, all right, well, they'll honour his contract. But then on another breath are saying that his contract's also illegal and that they've got the option to take it to court, which will make De Jong inferior free agent, from what I've been told from someone that's in contracts and sports. So if you're a player that's at a club that's not really willing to work with you or show you that they want you, why the hell are you even, I don't get this Barcelona thing. Why the hell are you even entertaining it? I don't get it. It's like the Koundé thing. I don't get why players are so I can't leave Barcelona. I have to be here. Like, it's here. We have to play. Even if they're like got a penny to their name, it's like we have to play for Barcelona. I don't know. I really find it weird. And I just feel ultimately that he won't come to Chelsea. And it is what it is because it's just taking too long. If he was to come, I think we would have had an answer by now. And I thought this week we would have had an answer for both Fofana and De Jong, to be honest. But I'd love the player. I'd like him in the team. I think he's very good. I think he would give us something else. I don't think we'd finish there. I think we'd maybe look next season at a proper DM, i.e. maybe a Declan Rice as well, to go with him at a later stage. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Guys, make sure that we're smashing the likes. Over half hour of being here with you guys. Still 300 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of yous. Please smash the like button. So let's get this over 100, 200 likes as quickly as possible. We are going to talk about Chelsea and Spurs, which is ultimately what we're here to do. We thought we would go through the first half hour talking to you guys about where we are with transfers. And the truth is we're not up to much other than supposedly negotiating and talking and waiting. So let's see what happens at a later stage. Let's talk about football because that's what I've missed. That's definitely what I missed, talking about games over the weekend. And we have got Spurs on Sunday. Thomas Tuchel came out in his press conference and pretty much made it clear that no Alonso, which is a big plus because he's pretty much near enough agreed a deal with Barcelona, which is great news. But he also said that no Mateo Kovacic. Now, later on in the show, we're going to go through a team builder where we're going to pick who we feel should play where and why and whatever else. So we'll talk about it moving forward. I said on the 12th man yesterday on Football Terrace that I felt that Kovacic has to start. I didn't know he was injured, but has to start in this game for me. It's going to be interesting. I mean, let's talk about Kovacic quickly, Con. I mean, he is out. Do you think that's a big blow for Chelsea going into this game against Tottenham?
Yeah, I think when Kovacic isn't available, I thought it's always a big blow for Chelsea. I think to many he's Chelsea's best midfielder, so to not have that option, it kind of sucks. But I suppose we just have to make do without him, man. It's annoying. The fact that he didn't start the first game of the season, I didn't think he was at full fitness. That's the only reason in my head why he wouldn't have started. And now, like Tuchel saying he's not available for Tottenham, it kind of makes sense, Everything's kind of aligning. I just hope he comes back quick because we need this guy.
I agree. We just had 9 minutes ago another tweet. We'll go back to this in a second. Basically, that Leicester City have opened the door for Fofana to leave, setting the price at 95 million euros, which is 80 million sterling. I don't know why it says that's from Santi as well. There is an agreement between the player. Leicester are looking at replacements. So apparently Leicester are looking at replacements, which tells me that they should be looking to agree. If that's true, then they should be looking to agree. You won't be looking for replacements unless you're satisfied with what Chelsea are going to put forward. So let's see what happens at a later stage with that. Going back to Mateo Kovacic, big blow. I think we need him. I didn't really feel that Kante and Jorginho had the greatest of games against Everton. I think Spurs are going to have full of energy in midfield. I think Basuma may play. Højbjerg may play as well. The midfield's going to be important again on Sunday. I think it's where it can be won and lost. I know we talk about the forwards and the quality that they have, but if you lose the midfield battle or you're getting bullied in the midfield, especially in the bigger games, you tend to always lose games. You tend to always lose games where you're not winning the battle in midfield. I think Kovacic is so important from a progressive aspect for the forwards because he moves the ball quickly, he tries to get it in behind. And I just don't know. Like we haven't got any creators in the middle, and that's becoming a bit of a problem for me. Same as last season. We haven't got anyone that can just make something happen with a quick pass. I mean, Jorginho does it sometimes, don't get me wrong, he does do it sometimes, but it's not enough for me. So I think Kovacic will be a big blow for Chelsea. Alonso's gone, which we already know. Cucurella is available. Azpilicueta is available. Reece James is available. We're going to talk about all of them in a bit. Koulibaly, who went off with cramp, is also available for Chelsea as well. So we'll see what happens there. In terms of the head-to-head, we're going to do the lineup soon, but in terms of the head-to-heads, we haven't lost to Spurs since at home since 2018 of April. 1st of April 2018, we lost 3-1. I think that was the Van der... What happened to it? Where is this going? I think this was the goal from Van der Vaart. No, Dele Alli. Sorry, yeah. Dele Alli with 2 goals. I remember them 2 goals as well, where they knocked it over the top and he lobbed our goalie twice. I think Kepa was in goal, actually, funny enough. Alvaro Morata got on the score sheet. That was the last time Chelsea lost to Spurs. Then on after that, it was about 15, 20 years. So they haven't got the greatest record against us. There is a bit of a mentality block there. But they are very confident going into this game, Con. And a lot of the Spurs fans, if you ask them, are sitting back very comfortably thinking that it's going to be a blow in the park against Chelsea. A lot of them feel very confident. They also feel that they can finish third above Chelsea. They don't think Chelsea will finish above Spurs this season. What are your thoughts on Spurs this season, mate? Do you think they are the one to watch, and you think that we could potentially be in trouble over the weekend against them?
Yeah, Antonio Conte. They've made some smart signings. Definitely a team to watch this season. They look a bit fitter than us. I watched the Tottenham and Southampton game. They do look a bit fitter than us. I wasn't overly impressed though. I feel like Southampton kind of gave them that game. Yeah, I wasn't overly impressed, but they do look sharp. And that Kulusevski, Son, Kane front three scares me, bro. It scares me. Just because I can just imagine us playing it slow, playing in front of them. Son makes a dodgy pass and bang, they're on us like that. So we're going to have to be careful with that. But it's Tottenham at the end of the day. And if there's any team you should feel confident against, it's Tottenham, right?
Yeah, that is true. I feel that it's one team that we've always sort of put in a good result. And when we think about when we played them last season, I think 3 times or 4 times we beat Antonio Conte in a row. This was the last one of the last games we played round at them. And it was a 2-0 win, I think it was. Yeah, with Ziyech and Silva with the goals. But we played a 4-3-3. I think it was in that game, because when I look at it, we had Sarr left back, Kovacic, Jorginho, Mount in the middle, and then Ziyech, Lukaku, and Hudson-Odoi. They still had a very strong team. You know, they had all right. Son wasn't available in that game, but it wasn't a bad lineup. And normally, you're right. I think Conte is a very good manager. He has been backed in this window, so you know, I think the pressure is on. I do feel that they need to win something with him going into this season. And ultimately, they're going to want Champions League football as well. The one that stands out for me in terms of their signings is Basuma. I think Basuma is a very good player. I watched him at Brighton absolutely annihilate us in the midfield, and I think it was Jorginho and Kane actually. He made them look so average. It was ridiculous. He could be the difference in terms of his energy, his understanding, his role. And I think Spurs have bought a very good player there. Richarlison likes to play against Chelsea as well. You know, Kane and Son, I think we've done quite well against them in the past. We've kept them very quiet in games as well. And, you know, the difference between us winning this game and not winning it is going to be down to the press. It's going to be down to the hard working. It's going to be down to the quick moving of the ball. I just don't know if we had the players to do it. And the only reason I say that is when I look at Kovacic, I think he's one that does speed the ball up. He's one that will break the press. You know, he won't be available. You know, we need players that can get past their midfield. I don't think Jorginho is going to do that. And I actually think Kante does it enough. And I don't think he really likes doing it that much. He can carry a ball, but ultimately his final pass has always been pretty shocking. It's going to be interesting because I think they're going to set up to be hard to break down and probably hit us on the counter. And I think Kulusevski will be an interesting one to see if he does start up against what I think will probably be Koulibaly and Chilwell, or Cucurella and Chilwell, which we're going to be talking about next, which is the next thing we're going to do. Guys, still over 300 of you guys here. Smash the like button. 40 minutes in. I hope you guys are all well. I want you guys in the chat to get involved as well. We're going to be doing the player lineups and, you know, formations and whatever, going through it, talking about the players, why we think they're going to play there, etc., etc. Icon says Jim Cucurella will be the difference to bring the pressure we need, like Chilwell did. We will win it 3-0. He's very confident. We'll be getting score predictions later in the show as well. So please make sure you have your score predictions ready for us. If Spurs score first, we're screwed, is what Santiago says. If Tuchel keeps starting Kai and Sleepy Mason, then yeah, Spurs will beat us. Well, who else would you play, Omar? Big up to Jay in the house. Says, yo, my guy Jim, sorry for rolling through late. It's fine, bro. I was dead asleep, not going to lie. Well, I just got up. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Big up to you. Nice to see you around, man. But yeah, let's get into what we believe is going to be the lineup going into this game. I ain't even going to ask you, Con, about the goalie because you're just going to say Mendy. But I had an interesting fan come on this show the last time round who believed that Mendy should be dropped. He didn't think Mendy deserves to start, and he thinks he's not as good as people think he is. Now, I think he's got a big season ahead of him. I think he has had some inconsistent patches in his game last season, and I think it's going to be about him stepping up and moving forward and showing us that he is here to be the number one for Chelsea. I mean, do you worry about Mendy and his consistency, or do you think we'll know more about him this season?
I've started to worry.
Yeah.
Because he's like sort of parrying shots that he catch with ease from crosses. He doesn't look as commanded anymore. Yeah, so I'm a bit worried. He doesn't seem that confident in himself. But ultimately, like, if Kane's through one-on-one, I'm backing Mendy 200% more than I'm backing Kepa to say that. I know how good this man is, and I'm pretty sure it's not a quality thing, it's just a confidence thing. I'm pretty sure we'll bounce back.
Yeah, I think he will as well. I think he's a good goalie. I just think he's had a moment, and I think all the best goalies have moments. It is what it is, like it happens. It's football, but it's about how they respond, how they bounce back, and they have to grow as goalies. And we're going to need him. We're going to need him massively. We're going to need him massively going into the game against Spurs because they will have opportunities as well. Just getting some more water because I'm dying of thirst here, man. Believe me now. Let's go on to the back three, Con. Interesting one, this. Because we have Koulibaly, we have Cucurella, we have Chalobah, we have Azpilicueta, we have Thiago Silva. Who starts on the left for you?
I reckon it'll be Koulibaly.
Okay. That would be the most sensible answer. Why?
I think Koulibaly, because I think it's going to be Koulibaly, Silva, and Aspi back three. So
really?
Yeah.
So, if I was to say to you that Cucurella, Silva, and Koulibaly, what would you say to that?
I just don't see Ben starting, bro.
You don't see Ben Chilwell starting?
No.
Why?
Because I remember Tuchel saying after the game it was a risk to start Chilwell. So, and I don't know, he looked a bit off it. Like, I feel like Cucurella will play left wing back. I feel like we'll have the same back three as last time. I think the only difference might be Chalobah instead of Aspi, but I'm not sure. Like, I just don't think Tuchel ideally wants to start Chilwell as of now. He wants to give him more time. Have you seen how he spoke about him as well, saying like how Cucurella will give Ben time to come back, so I think he's planning to ease him back in.
All right, interesting. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, who do you feel plays left centre-back for Chelsea against Spurs this weekend? Let's see what people have got to say about that. We've got Reece, Aspi, Silva. He can't play all... Oh, wait a second. Reece, yeah, so he's saying Reece, Aspi, Silva, Koulibaly, Cucurella as a wing-back. Fair enough. We're going to get into that in a bit. I hate Aspi at right centre-back, is what we've got here from Jay. Chilwell needs to build up. The injury was so nasty. Cuckoo. We've got Cuckoo here. We've got Koulibaly. All right, we'll stick to Koulibaly because everyone seems to say that. I want Cucurella, Silva, Aspi. Why? Why no Koulibaly? I hope we should not want Koulibaly, Jay. Koulibaly, Silva, Reece. Silva, Koulibaly, Reece. I don't want to see that. We're going to get to that in a second. All right, let's put Koulibaly in. Let's put him in then. Koulibaly. There we go. I ain't going to ask you about the middle because I think there's only one player that can play in this game. You said Aspi, didn't you?
Yeah, bro.
What about Chalobah? Something to Chalobah. Why are we now not interested in Chalobah in this game?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's like The only change in the back line I think I'd see, I think we would see, would be maybe Chalobah for Aspie, but I don't know. Bro, Tuchel might even do a madness and put Loftus-Cheek at right wing back and Reece James at right centre back to deal with the counters. You know? We never know with this Tuchel guy.
You never know with this Tuchel guy. It's true, though. It is. He's just so unpredictable, isn't he? He's so unpredictable. What are people saying? Reece, Chalobah is a bit dodgy. He'll stick Aspie as captain. No way Chalobah plays. No Chalobah. He doesn't trust Chalobah. He's been shaky. Aspie looks a liability against everyone. Aspie versus Son and Kulu. Yeah, that's a bit peak. I'm not going to lie. Chalobah is faster than Aspie. I agree. Reece James is right. I don't want to see Reece James as a right centre back though. Look, when it comes to creating, our only creative spark in our free system and what we got now is our wing backs. And I think Cucurella is going to give us more than what Chilwell's giving us at the moment in terms of the creativity and the speed and the movement and his passing ability. We're going to get to him in a bit. But if you're going to have that on one side, why would you not have Reece James on the other doing exactly the same? Why would you subsidise him to play him as there and have Ruben out? I don't really think Ruben... I think if Ruben's going to play in his team, it's going to be as a wing-back. I agree with you. I don't think it's specifically his greatest position. I mean, he's all right going forward and, offensively taking people on. But defensively, I don't think he has the right mindset to understand the role well enough. Like when to stay, when to go, when to press high, when to... I still worry with him in that position. But some people seem to feel that it could happen. Chile, Cucurella, Silva, Koulibaly, Reece. Koulibaly, Silva, Aspie. All right, let's stick with Koulibaly. Let's do what people are saying and what you've said as well, Con. Let's go with that. I wouldn't personally. I would play Chalobah. That's my personal opinion on this. Aspilicueta. I ain't going to ask you twice about who's playing right wing back, but how have you felt Reece James has been in this last sort of pre-season in the first game? Because I don't think he's been very good, mate. He looks very not sharp at the moment.
He looks off it. Bro, I'm not going to lie. I have never been so angry at Reece James as I was against Brighton. Not Brighton, what am I talking about? Everton. Them corner kicks, bro. Oh my God. This guy was trying to make me see God because, it was doing my head in, bro. I wanted to hurt myself watching that. I don't know how many times he was, just hitting this towards the near post when, Jorginho was standing there. It's like, why are you aiming for him? What? His set pieces, bro, were horrible that game. And just in general, he just looks a bit unfit, That will come. But yeah, it hasn't looked great for Reece so far this season.
He still starts though, doesn't he? You just can't.
Yeah, of course. He's Reece James. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I agree. I was fuming with the corners in the first half. I don't get why you would do the same thing 6 times and just not switch it. Just do something different. You know what I mean? Why are you still pinging it to the front post and it's not even clearing the first man and they're just heading it out for a corner every time? It was so predictable. I get you're trying to crowd the goalie and try and just get someone to flick it on. I get all that. But do you not do anything else in training? Do you have a plan B, plan C? Switch it up a bit, like what Arsenal did with their corner against Palace, where they knocked it back post, Zinchenko hit it across the goal. And then it was a free header for, I can't remember who scored, but, that kind of thing. Have something else. Stop doing the same goddamn thing, is what I'm saying. But he's going to start in this game. Reece James had a bet on corners. Had a bet on corners. Which Chelsea Fan TV, big up to you. We got someone spamming in the chat. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to time you out, mate. Princeton says Cuckoo, Jorginho, Kante, and Reece. Kovacic is a big miss. I'm nervous now with this midfield. Yeah, and we're gonna go into the midfield next, actually. So we have obviously the obvious, is the Jorginho, the Kantes. We've got Carney, Mr. Carnes, who hasn't picked the ball yet. We've got Conor Gallagher, who's an 8. We've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's an 8. Who are you starting with? And I mean, you got to really look at the Everton game on this one, I feel, because I wasn't too impressed with it, to be honest. But who are you going with as your 2 in the middle?
I think it has to be Georgie and Nagolo, to be fair. against Tottenham. You're gonna need. I
It's
don't
peak, mate.
know who else.
It's getting peak, Con. This is getting peak, bro.
Bro, Jorginho will have a masterclass, right? You heard it here first.
Yeah,
And the goal level as
wait
well.
a minute, it's not.
Bro,
Oh god, you will die on the hill for this Jorginho guy, wouldn't you? You really
yeah,
will.
bro. 100%, bro.
You ever
My
criticize the guy?
Do I ever
Have you ever?
criticize the guy?
Yeah, you ever criticize a guy if he has a bad game?
Yeah, I do, to be fair.
That's fair. I'm not comfortable with that midfield. I'm going to be honest with you. Not from what I saw against Everton. I thought it was slow. I thought it was predictable. I thought it had no energy. I thought it was. I don't know what it was. I mean, Jorginho actually in the Everton game, in terms of off the ball, done quite well because he found himself in decent positions where he's picking up the ball and stuff. Fine, I get that. The thing is, we just don't have any other options unless you're going to take a risk and play Carnes there, the new boy that we signed, which he's more of a box to box. You can't play Ruben Loftus-Cheek there because it just doesn't work. Conor Gallagher, how does he get in this team? How in this formation? Con, how does he get in this team?
I don't know. If I'm going to be real with you, Jem, as of right now, I generally don't know. Because he doesn't look good in the pivot, and I don't really want to see him as one of the front three, if I'm being totally honest with you. So, I really don't know.
You're as lost as I am in this at the moment. It's interesting. Mate, we've got how many eights we got? We got Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Carnes, who we just bought, Barkley, who's still at the club. Don't ask me why. I would have cut his contract up last week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks ago. I would have cut his contract up. Who else have we got? We've got about 5 or 6 eights, and none of them play in their position. It's mad. It's generally mad. I don't get. Obviously, Tuchel must have a plan, right? But maybe his plan is not able to kick in because of the transfer window. Maybe we just not got everyone we need. But when you look at this Chelsea team going into this season, and if we're going to stick to this system, and you think about how many sixes do we have? We only have Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic, and one of them's already injured. So what happens now? Are we just going to completely exhaust Jorginho and Kante? And then Kante will get injured because he will, because he's fragile as ever. Then what?
Frenkie de Jong.
Do you know what I mean, though? We've not solved a real problem. This is a problem.
No.
If you want to stick to the pivot, I'm cool with it. But then buy more sixes. Why are we buying eights?
No, I
What
hear
are you
it.
going to do? You're going to play eights there? You're going to play eights there? Is that what you want to do? You want to play them in there? I don't know, mate. This is a bit. This is not good, mate. This is not good.
It's all fun and games of TC Raheem Sterling in the pivot.
Oh, fucking hell. Can you imagine? Mason Mount as your DM. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, but didn't
What about
Lampard put Iwobi in the pivot for Everton? Wasn't he in the pivot?
Yes, he did. And he was very good, actually, to be fair to him. But he
Yeah,
played more as a forward out of the pivot. He was like the full. I think they had 3, didn't they? They had Decore, Iwobi. They had 3 in the middle? I can't remember. Can't remember the other one. But I thought they had 3 in the middle. Hiker and Martin saying, Jem, might we play the 4-3-3 con? Could that happen?
Against Tottenham, bro. So a team that will likely sit back in a low block and try to kill you in transition. And you want, I love him, but you want Jorginho protecting that back four. That's a recipe for disaster, bro. I'm not trying to see my man Son just blasting past Jorginho, bro. I'm not trying to see that.
He done that once, didn't he, before and against them when you remember when he was chasing him on his own and he just wasn't even running, he was jogging Son and he scored. It was ages ago. Jorginho was like, it looked like he obviously was sprinting, but it didn't even look like he was walking. He looked so slow.
I don't know how. Gilmore.
Gilmore's gone, bro. Is Gilmore gone?
No, he's still here, but I don't even think he has a squad number, does he?
Yeah, Ampadu. Why are we not using these boys? Like this is the time where we could give Ampadu or Gilmore, I don't know, someone. At least they're sixes. I mean, at least they can play it. Like, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I'll be real with you, bro. I'll be real with you. As much as like I know some people don't like Georgie, as like that one who plays deepest. I would much rather see him there versus Spurs than at Ampadu or Gilmore. I can't lie, bro.
But could it be better? Is there anyone that can just make it look better? That's what I'm saying. Like, could we not just take a risk and play Carnes that we just bought?
Unless we go 3-5-2.
Do you know what? Actually, yes, I think we're going to do that. You just tickled my mind now. We are going 3-5-2. And I think we're going to have, now we've done that, I think we're going to have Mason Mount because he plays all the time in there. That looks better. I'm more comfortable with that between the three of them.
Yeah.
And then we've got to have this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah.
That looks better, doesn't it? In theory, actually. That makes you feel a bit more comfortable having one more. And do you know what? I think Mason Mount, when you saw Mason Mount against Everton playing what I thought was like a winger, I've never seen him hold the wing as much as he did against that Everton game. When you see him doing that, that's when you like. For me, I was like, "What are we doing there? Why?" Like his natural position is where he is now, where he can sort of pick here and do this, not all the way out here. But he was awful. Yeah, he even got Tuchel telling him he was a ghost in that game. And he got taken off. Like Tuchel cannot be playing 3-4-3 and having Mount in the team and playing off the right. He just can't be doing that because it just does not work. I think the 3-5-2 works, and I think it works better for the midfield because I do feel that they're going to play Højbjerg and Bissouma as a 2. In there, and maybe one other, dependent. We'll see. But that looks better on the eye to me. But Cucurella, tell me about Cucurella. Are you looking forward to seeing this guy on the pitch at the Bridge?
Bro, I think he's hella overrated, bro. I think he's a bum.
Shut up.
Bro, we finally got a Spanish fullback who can actually do it all, you know. People always keep saying it's 62 million or like this 80 million euro player. Like, bro, I don't care how much Chelsea paid for him. It's 55 million, by the way. It's 62s with add-ons. You know, they're not guaranteed to be paid. But I've known add-ons and bonuses, I think. But yeah, Cucurella, bro, he's so good. He's so good. And one thing I love about him, and we saw it against Everton, is how he fizzes a pass into feet, bro. I love that. Just to see a player actually
direct. Yeah, he's direct. But we need that. That's what we need. Progressive, quick passes. That's why he has to play. And that's why Reece James has to play on the other side. I think Cucurella is going to be very good for Chelsea. I just hope that he becomes even better under Thomas Tuchel. I think his man management is serious. 4-3-3 with Carney in the middle. But then what happens to Mason Mount? Mason Mount, I think people need to understand Mason Mount starts. there's no Mason Mount. Mason Mount plays people like, and if he gets injured, he plays. Like, I'd like to see Carney come on though, maybe in the second half. Like, that's fine. You know what I mean? If we need a bit more, saying throw him on, see what he's about. But again, ultimately, we just don't know what Tuchel's going to do in this 4-3-3, 3-5-2 is a better option, more secure and more energy. Ampadu will be middle centre back of the 3 backup. Is he really? Now, what about this, Con? Sterling and Broha up front is what we've got a call for there. That means Kai Havertz is holding bench. What do you think Thomas Tuchel's going to do?
I think Havertz starts. And I hope Havertz does start. I know he hasn't started off well, but Havertz in big matches, in big games, he normally turns up, you know? He's got that sort of credit in the bank. So I definitely want Kai to start. And if it's not really going to plan, get Broha on a little bit earlier than he did versus Everton.
What do you think about Broha this season? Do you think it's a big season for him? Do you think he could be, I'm hoping he can be, do you think he could be the player that gets the goals that we need this season?
There's never been a better opportunity for a young number 9 from the academy to get into this team. That's for sure. Because as of right now, his only competition is outer source Havertz, you know, who's not looking himself right now. So he's got the best opportunity we'll ever have to make it at Chelsea Football Club this season. So it's all on him. You know, we've seen at Southampton that first half of the season, he could be amazing. Then also the second half of the season, we can see that, you know, he could be a bit meh. But then again, Southampton did drop off massively. So take that with a pinch of salt. So it's a big season for him, bro. And, you know, he's going to have minutes. He's just got to show Tuchel what he's about.
I love Kai Havertz. I do. I've always been a big fan of him. I just feel that we've not seen enough of him and I think he does need to take his chances. I think Sterling looked very good against Everton. I actually thought all the players that we signed against Everton looked decent. Even Kukurea, when he come on, they still looked pretty good. Koulibaly had an awesome game for me as well. Kai is not good right now. Brower deserves to start. You could see Brower start and Havertz bench, but I agree with Con. I think he will start. I think he will start Havertz and Sterling. If we Havertz, Sterling, Mount again, and then Brower in the second half can come on if Havertz is having a poor game, then he'll come on. But ultimately, we look quite limited in our forward line at the moment. Obviously, we've got Pulisic still. Ziyech wants to leave. Callum Hudson-Odoi wants to go on loan. Werner's gone. Lukaku's gone. We haven't got much in there, but I do feel that team's still good enough to get a win against this Spurs team. But we're going to have to press well. There's going to have to be energy. We're going to have to be energy. We're going to have to press up the pitch. We're going to have to win the ball high. And we're going to have to make it hard for them. But it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, and they're going to be up for it. They are a lot more fit than us. They look a lot more sharper than we do. And it's going to be interesting to see how we how Tuchel sets up the team going into that game as well. Con, your score predictions for this game, mate, and goal scorers.
I'm going to go with a 3-0 Chelsea. I'm going to be super positive. Is it blind? Of course. But we're still doing it anyway. And Raheem the Dream is getting a brace. And the last one, I think Thiago Silva from the corner.
Oh, I love that. I actually like that so much that I'm just going to agree with you, to be honest. That is I'm just reading some breaking from Ben Jacobs, actually. So we'll come back. I think we're going to win 3-1. I think Sterling's going to score a brace. I actually think Mason Mount's going to score as well, actually. Mount, Sterling are the people are going to score. I do think they will score, though. And I've got a feeling it's going to be Son. Just got this feeling Son's going to bang one against us on the weekend. But let's see what happens with that. Give us your score predictions in the chat as well. 2-0 Spurs is what we've got here. 2-1 up the Chelsea. 3-0 Chelsea. Even I'm not that confident. I'll say 2-1. 2-0. Like and subscribe. Please do so. Still over 300 of you guys here. Big up to every single one of you that are with us this evening. But subscribe to both GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV as well. And let's get these likes up as much as possible, guys. It's over 100 likes on Chelsea Fan TV. We should be over that now. Same with GNA TV as well. Just get these likes up. Smash the likes if you haven't done already. And let's quickly fly over to that news of Ben Jacobs that he's just brought out just now on Fofana. So here it is. What is Fofana's update? Currently more of a back and forth, which is exactly what Chelsea hoped for after the first two bids were rejected. Chelsea have been using intermediaries to try and speed up a deal instead of use just blind bidding, is what he's saying there. Leicester's stance has softened from not for sale to looking to from not to sell to not looking to sell. Fofana is still expected to play against Arsenal unless anything dramatic changes this evening. CFC hope for under 80 million with an appealing structure to Leicester, but it still will take a world record fee. Chelsea not only want a slightly cheaper deal, normally when negotiating, especially where their initial value was 55 million, and they also prefer Fofana not to have the tag of the world record defender. I don't blame them. That's good thinking. That comes with hype and pressure. Harry Maguire found this out the hard way. I agree. Chelsea know Leicester should they sell also want a replacement and may need the funds to get one. They're using this to try and move a sale along faster, giving Leicester time to move in the market. But Leicester remain tough negotiators. Chelsea optimistic, but deal by no means done. And then it just says that Leicester still in control for timescale and ultimately the sale on their own terms. Even Fofana wants to move. The other thing to add, once talks become verbal, it's often less about placing a bid and more about back and forth before doing so, to try and cut out wasted time is what he's put there. So there you go. Ben Jacobs' update on news in and around Wesley Fofana. It's not real news. It's just the fact that Chelsea are really trying hard to get this deal done for a lot less. They're not willing to pay the £80 million. However, Leicester want the money because they want to buy a player, which is fair enough, to replace him because they're going to lose their most prized asset in that instance. And he wants Chelsea as well. And, ultimately, if he wants Chelsea, and I said this before, why the hell don't he just put in a transfer request? Do you know what I mean, Con? If you really want to leave Leicester and in your first game you stormed down the tunnel and you're moaning like he supposedly did, he didn't even walk around with the team or anything. You're obviously making it clear that you don't want to be there. Why did you not put in a transfer request?
No, I hear it, bro. That applies to a certain other, DM loved by the fan base or some parts of the fan base. But yeah, if you desperately want to move, Cucurella did it when he went to go City. Put transfer request. Who cares if you just signed a contract, Chelsea come knocking, you want to play in Champions League. I don't blame the guy.
100%. And like I said, if the intentions of the player is to be in Champions League football and play for Chelsea, if I'm a player that wants to leave and wants to play for a better club, even if I'm on a contract and I've had enough and, I want to go, I'll make it clear straight away. There you go. Here's my contract. Here's my transfer request. I want to go. Here we go now. It makes things easier. And not just that, it devalues the player. It makes it easier for Chelsea to negotiate with Leicester because now they're not in control. They're in control at the moment because they want 80 million for a player that's just signed a contract. But if Chelsea turn around, if Fofana turns around and goes, look, I just want to go now. Here's my request. Just get it done. Then they're forced into having to compromise with Chelsea. And that's why you always see when transfer requests are handed in, the amount or the value of the deal drops. Not massively. You might get a 15 mil drop in it. But that gets closer to what Chelsea want to pay. And if they want another player, we've got enough players. They want Ross Barkley, Baba Rahman. Who do they want? Yeah, we can give you. You want a defender? You could have had Malang Sarr. What else have we got in defence that we're not using? Ampadu? Do you want Ampadu? You can have him if you want. There's options. We've got players to get rid of. Use them and use them to get rid of them as well. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, guys. We've done an hour and 10 minutes. We are going to finish off shortly as well. I will give you, 5-10 minutes to get your questions in the chat. If you've got any questions, please let us know. If you want to come in ultimately and have your say with me and Con for 5-10 minutes, then come in, have your say, or give us your thoughts on something, then please do so. The link's already in there as well. But yeah, let's answer some questions. So questions in the chat. Let's put it in. Get your questions in. Get your questions in. I've got a question for you, Con, actually. Raheem Sterling. Do you think that he will reach double digits at Chelsea this season in terms of goals?
Yes, I do. I firmly believe he does. Yeah.
Even with the lack of creativity in the team?
Yeah, bro. I generally feel like this guy will get at least 10 goals in the league. And all comps definitely getting over double figures,
I agree. I think he will. I think he'll score him. I think from even the Everton game, we could have had one from Cucurella and he scored one, which was offside. So I think he will score goals and I think he will get double digits, whether it's the later double digits, if it's the early. I think he could do 13, 14 goals in the Premier League. I really do. I think he could have more if we had better creators around him. And we'll go to Akraf's question here. This is, will we go for a backup right wing back? I don't think so. Not now we've got Azpilicueta on for another 2 years. I think between him and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, we will probably rotate. I think this is a position that we will look at into next season more than anything, to be honest. But yeah, funny enough, look who's here. It's the Mendy hater. Let's get the Mendy hater in, even though I can't see his face properly.
Yo, yes, brother. Let me fix my camera quickly, man. I've got a better one still.
No, that's fine, mate. No worries. What are you saying, Jay? How are you?
I'm good.
Can't hear you, mate. Jay.
Oh, okay. Can you know him now? Wait.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. What are you saying? You all right?
I'm good.
Good to hear you, man. Good to hear you. I mean, looking forward to the game over the weekend.
Game, man. We need magic. We need magic on Sunday. You need
Whoa.
Tuchel to come out with a master stroke, some mad outside the box idea that just works. Because the reason why I suggested Carney, so I'll be like, maybe the 4-3-3 might be, let's just say Kante, Carney, Mount. Have Mount somewhere, fit him somewhere in that midfield. But as long as we can, I feel like that full back right now against Tottenham for me holds too many pros to cons. If we execute it well. But it seems like in preseason it didn't look promising, so I
forget preseason, man.
I can understand the 3-5-2, but even so, even if you stick to the regular 3-4-1, like 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-3, I still think he's like we should play Carney, maybe Carney Kante, something like that.
My bro, Jay, you're overthinking it, man. You're overthinking it, bruv, man. We don't need an exceptional magic moment. We just need to tap in from Sterling and shut the doors, bruv. 1-0, like it's. But I think it's gonna be 1-1 personally.
Bro. After a while, mid-game, Georgie thinks let me just kick the door open. Like I'll be so real. I don't trust that. I don't trust that guy. I love him.
I'm like that as well. I don't really have trust in him, but he'll cut.
You need to be careful. You need to be careful when you talk about Jorginho around a certain person that's in here right now. You can't say anything naughty because he'll come out and he bites as well. He bites. Trust me.
I'll scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah. You know what, Jorginho? He's the most easiest to sell player we have right now. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I feel like he'll just if we put him in the market, he'll be gone quickly. Am I right? Am I wrong,
bro?
Just the other day, I was on the football terrace. Terry said he'll snap him up straight away. So I was thinking, all United fans must be feeling J5.
Yeah, I agree. I think people would buy him. I do think they would. You could.
Kante's gonna be so.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Con, do you agree with that? Do you think he's one of maybe our easier players to sell in terms of people wanting him for his position?
It's pretty mad that people don't think he's a good player, but yet people are saying it'd be really easy to sell. Fairs,
He
must be terrible, isn't it? He must be terrible.
It's a bit of an oxymoron, but you're right, man. I mean, we need. I don't know if we get De Jong, someone's leaving in January. After the World Cup, one of these guys is gonna break during the World Cup, and that's who's leaving, man.
Do you know what is though? I don't even think Georgie's bad. I just think that with the way that you see flipping Tuchel trying to play, and if Tuchel and Bowley are so called in love with De Jong, that literally makes Jorginho's existence in this club. He has no place there no more. Really, like the moment that Jorginho walks through, the moment that De Jong walks through the doors, De Jong's packing Jorginho's bags for him. There's nothing that Jorginho has to give to the team anymore. Nothing.
It's a super sub.
So I don't understand how you come to that conclusion there, but if that's
De Jong does everything Jorginho does 50 times better. De Jong actually has another thing to his game: press resistance. Jorginho, press resistant.
Right, so this is how I know. This is how I know you're waffling, right? Because no player in our team made more passes under pressure than Jorginho did last season. But
he's the same person that got stun locked in the flipping under the lights against Man United, bro.
One isolated incident. That's an isolated incident. Waffle. Jorginho's not press resistance. Is that what we're doing now? Yeah, we're just straight up lying. Yeah,
bro. This guy has at least four stretch. 2 to 3 game-changing like mess-ups in a season.
Mistakes, yeah.
And that comes from the territory of receiving the ball in dangerous areas when he's getting pressed.
Exactly. It's like Bruno. Exactly.
I wonder if power here. You'd call that game by now.
I wonder if from Chelsea. Let's ask Chelsea database.
Exactly.
What's your thoughts on Jorginho as a player?
I think he's quality. I think he's only limited athletically. Like he's obviously slow, and obviously on the counter and transition, he's not very. He's not going to be able to cover that ground and stop the counter. But obviously, in terms of passing, if you give him the time and space, he'll run the game for sure.
And Jay, with greatest respect, hold that.
There's still glaring problems. No matter how many positives you give me, he still affects the way that we line up each week. If he's a guaranteed star, he affects the way that we line up. Because there's no way you're telling me you can play a ball progressing midfielder, which is ideally what you want in a 6-6 pivot. Somebody that can go up and somebody that can cover behind. Whoever Jorginho is next to, that person that he's partnered with will never be able to truly be creative and go forward because they have a flipping baby behind them that needs to babysit for a whole 90 minutes. That's the problem.
Because Kovacic and N'Golo Kante are known for their creativity and their
okay, but I'm not saying there's a better two, but we need someone better than him at the moment.
And who's better than him?
De Jong.
I don't know. Maybe the guy that we're linked to. I don't know.
That's literally if you don't get De Jong,
you think if De Jong comes
in,
him, he can hold.
I don't think we're gonna get him.
Carney right now is a better risk than Jorginho being a nailed-on star.
Wow.
Carney's 18.
Okay, but he's more physical. He can actually he can actually survive on his own.
Who's this? You're talking about?
The guy we just signed from Aston Villa, Khan.
Bro, you do know he's more of a number 8/10, right? Than he is a number 6.
But Tuchel is mesmerized by him in training. Tuchel's like, I might need to forget a young project. I might need to put him on this week. And with the 5 subs, I reckon he's going to get his chance. Yeah, I like that when a player impresses the manager. I love that. I'm like, the manager saw something.
Yeah, he's more of a Bellingham profile than he is like a.
But that's deep. Yeah, I feel like he's ready. Jumped Hudson-Odoi. He hasn't even played a game. I feel like it's deep. But I want to see if he plays well.
Maybe ultimately it's because he looks at that player and feels that he's more of the profile player that suits his system. I don't think Hudson-Odoi does really inferior, but we'll see with Khans because I think there's a good player in that, and whether he plays
exactly. I think there's a player now though, not next year.
Yeah, he is cold. Yeah, he is cold.
The problem is we've got so many 8/10s and not enough 6s, and we're playing a 6 system.
Thank you.
So
that's what I said.
What we
on the channel as well, man. I've been preaching about that.
So everyone says about that, but then people want to sell the only 6 we have. Like, what are we doing here?
I know, but
he's not even a 6. I don't know what that
is. The problem is though with the 6 that we have, Jorginho. I think the problem is that a lot of people are because he's a regista and he needs that extra protection. I think it's literally because of that reason. I think they want a 6 that doesn't need the protection.
Yeah, calls him Jennifer.
Oh, yeah. That's what they call her. That's what they call him. Sorry.
Oh, Jorginho.
J5. They're disrespectful. I wonder if Jorginho feels this disrespect. He's like, why did they go for De Jong? Like, does he feel this?
I want someone to invent a 6-foot cannon.
Yeah, Torre, mate. He's done for.
Do you know what I mean? Our only 6 is not that good.
Okay, that's why we won the Champions League with a minute. That's why he's won Euros with a minute.
I appreciate Georgie in it and what he produced for us last season.
Okay, bro.
Like
you appreciate it.
And I'm being dead serious though. Last season, although I think third place in the Ballon d'Or is a bit of hyperbole, but I do like what he did for us. He was pivotal. But the place in which Tuchel is moving, we need somebody who can free up that midfield a little bit. And for the pros that Jorginho brings to that midfield, I just don't think it, like, at what cost? At what cost do you want someone that could just pass left and right and back really well, but that's the main strength to his game? It seems
to be at the cost of 68 million or somewhere around there.
I'm pretty sure, actually no, I'm not pretty sure, I am sure that he created more big chances than any other top DM in the league. Right, Fabinho gets done. I know my stuff when it comes about Jorginho because people tell me this stuff about he passes sideways, passes backwards, bro. If you think he does that, wait until you get like a Fabinho or Declan Rice into your team. We will talk about talking.
Nah, I can see my brother, bro. You love you love Chelsea, brother. You come to the game this week, like
what Tottenham?
Yeah, come Sunday.
No, I couldn't get tickets.
Yeah, man, same, bro. But I'm still going. I'm right around the corner, brother. waiting. Want to hear it myself and watch it from the pub, but we'll see how it goes.
I couldn't get tickets.
Same. I mean, I did 5 tickets.
How can you make a system that's worse than the one that was crap anyway? Yeah. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, it's really,
I was listening to other teams like Crystal Palace fan and Man United fan. I was like, oh man, I wish I could get tickets that easily. Like,
yeah,
it's a bold leg mission, and they're trying to bump us, man. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna say anything.
Go AM is the funniest guy ever. Chelsea database. What is your thoughts on the game this weekend, mate? How confident are you from a Chelsea fan?
Yeah, I'm confident in terms of like our record is like really good. Like I think like 2018 we last lost to them, so I think it'll be like a 2-1. I don't see us scoring any more than that. I also don't see us keeping a clean sheet with like Kane, Son, Kulusevski. So 2-1. But I think worst case scenario will be like a 1-1.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Hassan, what you saying?
Nothing much, Jim. I think there's for me, right. I think we got. I've kind of mixed feeling because this ain't the Tottenham that was kind of dead before. This is not the Tottenham that have like just Kane and Son and the rest are all bombs. They've got Kulusevski and who's gonna cook. They've got actual DM that can actually play now. And they've brought in a few players that can assist them through the wing backs, the Perisic. But on one hand in my mind, I think we are gonna win. I think because of the psychology of obviously that we always either win or draw against them at home. I think we probably will get a point. But my other mind is saying Mike Dean and Anthony Taylor, like there's literally not a duo that you could get worse than that. And bro, like and you've seen the second game of the week on a big game. You seen what Taylor did, bro. He pulled out the red. That guy is a trauma, man. A drama is pending with him. He'll pull out a red, second yellow if he can. And you have Mike Dean as VAR, man. I just think it's gonna be a scrappy 1-0 game. And that's why
it's the two bald frauds, isn't it? What are we gonna do?
It's like the worst thing possible. I'm like, Mike Dean, why can't you just retire fully? They pulled him back in a big game. I thought he was gone for good, only for him to come back as a VAR assistant.
What are you saying, Trills?
I'm there, man. What's everyone saying? I hope everyone's had a good day. Enjoyed the sun, the weather.
Yeah, bless, man.
I did until Jay started talking about Jorginho, to be fair.
I mean, I'm pretty positive. I'll be honest. I don't get scared or by rivals when they're talking about this new look Tottenham. At the end of the day, if it was away, I'd understand. But it's at Stamford Bridge. The crowd's gonna love it. We're gonna get in their faces early. The players know what this match means to us fans. I don't see there being goals. I'll be honest. I see it worst case scenario being a 0-0, but my heart's telling me 1-0 Chelsea. But I couldn't tell you would score. I don't think anyone could.
How much of a big miss is Kovacic?
I'll be honest, I don't think he's a big miss. I think with the way us fans, hate Jorginho and like to say, yeah, I want us to do this, I don't think it's that big of a miss because he's not actually match fit anyway. And I think Thomas Tuchel would have probably played Kante and Jorginho anyway. Not to say that I wouldn't have wanted Kovacic to play, but that's just how our manager would have done things. Kovacic wasn't match fit.
Why would you not play him? I don't get when you've got someone that's like your best midfielder. Why would you not play him? That makes no sense.
I think he'd play Jorginho and Kovacic, yeah, and then he'll bring on Kante second half, just to kill off the game. That's what I think he would have done.
This is what I always say to people: we're not there at Cobham, and if he makes a decision, there has to be something that we're not seeing. That's what I always tell people when we have strange thoughts about, why is this person?
That's
not
fine,
playing?
but then I need to see it on the pitch then, because if I don't see it, then I don't know what he's seeing.
For example,
everyone, Chelsea need the all or nothing more than anyone. I want to see what Todd is like. Hey guys, let's make a deal.
They had the chance last season, bro. They had the chance last season.
I wish they had done it last season. I wish they had done it last season with Lukaku. That would have been funny. Just to see Lukaku.
Yeah, it would have been good because then after all or nothing, you always do well afterwards. All the teams.
Nah,
that would have spiraled. Pets they lost, they won nothing, and then Liverpool's first one they won nothing, and then Tottenham's won, Mourinho won. That was famous. They won nothing at all, and this Arsenal one is the worst one ever. Probably they won zilch, like they finished fifth. So, but next season they always do well. It seems. Check it out, bro. Check my little fan theory.
Clubs, what you saying?
I'm good. How's everyone?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How are you feeling about this game this weekend?
The thing is, I have a J5 agenda, so I'm just saying it now.
Go on then, say it.
I feel like Cover's injured, isn't he? So I think that's gonna be a big loss. Because the way Tottenham play 5 at the back, are we expecting J5 to break down Conte? I don't know. I think only Cover's world-class dribbling is able to break down those like midfield lines or defensive
But can
lines.
Kante do it?
Yeah, I think he can. People say he might be washed up. What do you guys think?
One more season left.
I think he's lost legs. He's clearly
I'm
lost
asking
the
you
potential.
because you said you got a Jorginho agenda, and then you said that we need someone that can break the team down and say Kovacic. But then I asked you, does Kante do that? Because for me, even though Kante can carry the ball, I don't think his final passing is good whatsoever. I think sometimes it just makes the wrong pass, or he holds the ball too long and doesn't let go of the ball quick enough. So I think as much as we can say, Jorginho doesn't do this, I think we have the same problem with Kante when it comes to the progressive part of the game. I'm talking about being able to move
that's
the ball
this Kante, I feel. I feel like the old Kante was slightly less sloppy.
And do you know what it is though?
That's
I
true.
feel like the reason why I say, and do you know what? Before I say what I'm gonna say beggars can't be choosers. Because out of our options, Kante, even though he does like dart around like he has ADHD, but then just pass to the right. Like I feel like with Kante, that's still positive. Maybe maybe we still need something at the end of that, a bit extra. But what we have right now, that's more. I'll more than take that if Cover's not around.
Happily.
I'd rather that than just sit there and just sit still. Like that's what we're doing right now.
Is that what
we're actually too harsh on our players. I think we don't cut them any slack. Say that again.
I'm saying Jay, you don't rate J5 at all, man, because he got a similar name to you.
He's blaming Jorginho for everything.
Man. He's got a polo thing, man.
Not stealing your thunder.
I just feel like he needs to pass the torch now. That's all.
I just think.
Yeah, in January maybe.
Nah, Jong could come now, man.
He can come right now, bro.
I don't know about that, bro. You used to do in the Aubameyang. You used to grab a flight and come here and just like force it through or something.
Yeah, man, force the thing. I don't know, man. Like, do you know what? Georgie made Iwobi look like flipping Makalele, bro. That guy made Everton's midfield with that attacker in it. He made fam. I don't know how.
How? Remember when Xhaka
Why did you keep coming for the guy, bruv?
I don't know, man. I feel like he's lost.
I said that with agenda.
He's lost form. I think even last season, because at the end of last season, he was still doing all right. I don't know what happened in preseason and now, man.
Well, we got so one second, guys. We got a donation from Rego. We got a donation from Rego Park. Thank you for the donation to the channel. Saying Spurs will boss the midfield and finish their chances. They are 3 bona fide finishers up front. We don't. We are not in good form, even at home. This could be Spurs 3-1, is what Rego Park is saying. Big up to Rego Park for the donation.
Big up to Rego, but nah, man, it's not 3-1. Are you mad?
Nah, it's the other way around.
It's only 3-1 if Taylor makes it 3-1.
Man's like Trill's got the shirt, yeah. Hey, when's the new blue shirt coming? When's the new away shirt coming out? The one with the little wavy blue.
I want that one. I think it's better than the home kit.
They always release that one when you start Champions League, when Champions League starts.
Oh man, are they starting early this year because of the World Cup?
I've heard rumors that the Champions League will start earlier, but not too early. It's just the fixtures will. You know how there's usually, I think it's on match day 3. There's like a 2-week break, and then you go back in again. I don't think there's gonna be a big break. It's gonna be hectic.
Well.
Let's quickly go to one second, guys. I just want to quickly go to Eric Blue because he's sitting in the corner not saying anything with his Koulibaly picture. What you're saying?
Long time no talk. Good evening, everyone.
I hope you're well, mate.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I have some free time, so I have to get involved. Look, people need to stop disrespecting my guy J5 because
God loves you. God loves you, bro.
He's being disrespected. I don't think he knows he's being disrespected.
Look, J5, don't worry, he's gonna come good. You'll see. This season we're gonna see. And against Spurs, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But no, I think Spurs, this is their best chance. Maybe in 10 years or something to beat Chelsea. Definitely. Because even last season, look at the team we beat them with. Everyone says the same thing over and over, and they come to the bridge and it doesn't work out for them. Kane doesn't do anything. Son, he's invisible. So I'm not really worried. I have to be honest. I'm not scared of Spurs. I think they're overrated. I have to be honest. People are saying that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think
I
based on
agree.
the way some people talk about them, like they're going to
Yeah,
challenge for the title,
I
I
agree.
think it's a bit much. Conte is world class, but he's not like he's the greatest manager ever. So people just need to calm down with Spurs, and we need to we need to show people why they need to just relax about Spurs. Spurs are still trophyless. They don't win trophies. They don't do anything. All they can get is top 4.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's right though. Just in some ways.
It's Spurs, man. It's Spurs. Who gives a crap about a bottle of Zippo, mate? I don't give a shit about Spurs, bro.
I still think.
We need to have faith in Thomas Tuchel, man.
I don't know.
I said we need to have faith in Thomas Tuchel. He's a tactician. That's what he's known for.
Yeah, but some Chelsea fans are thinking otherwise and want him out already. Like, what do we feel about these Chelsea fans that want him out?
Rushed.
They've got Abramovich syndrome in them. They still miss that old "you're out of here" era. We don't do that no more. Have you seen the All or Nothing? These American CEOs, they become all buddy with the manager, and it's hard to sack them. They keep them there for years. That's how it'll be at Chelsea. He'll be there for a while, too sure. So get used to it, guys.
You know what though? I feel like the funny thing with, do you know what it is? I kind of think we have a similar type of fan, like what the football terrorist says, mushrooms. Like they'll say, "Oh, we need signings. Thomas Tuchel needs signings." He gets the signings. You don't even give them one Premier League game of the next season before you say he's finished. It doesn't make sense to me. How are you going to turn around and complain after you got what you want?
Right, fickle fans, bro.
Champions League.
It's the normality of the Chelsea fan base to pick and be overcritical over little things where there's players, managers, etc., etc. A lot of our fans mourn for the sake of mourning, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah. That's true. I think
true.
We could win the league and win the Champions League, and then they would still moan about a player. I'd be like, shit, man. He was
because of him. I was in the space all when we won the Champions League at 4 a.m., bro. We were still talking about Werner, this lot, that lot, get him on. After we won the Champions League, man, peak, man.
Guys, I want to get your score predictions because we are going to finish off as well. I've got to shoot out, but let's go to. I've already gone to Con already, so we'll go to CFC. OG, what are you saying?
Yeah, but I'm going for the 1-1, man. I'm not going to be deluded. They're going to get a lucky Buki goal. We're going to tap in from Sterling, I think. 1-1. No fun. Sorry to burst your bubbles, guys.
Jay, what are you saying?
I'm going for one you can take to the bookies. Remember this one? 2-0 Cucurella and Sterling.
Did you say Jorginho? Oh, that's nice. You just said Jorginho to score. Yeah.
Cucurella and Sterling.
Can't he simping for Jorginho, bruv? What's going on? You know what I mean? Jorginho to score. What's going on? Hassan, what are you saying?
I was going to say what Jay said. I think unless Taylor and Mike Dean fuck you, I think it'll be 2-0. And I think it's literally because of the home advantage, and Spurs always mess up at home. If not, it'll probably be a ball draw, but let's hope for a couple of goals. Let's hope Sterling scores at home. With the probably, I don't know who else will score. I hope Sterling scores one. Hopefully a brace, but we'll see. 2-0. I'm going to stick with that.
Chelsea database, what are you saying?
Yeah, like I said, like 2-1, but probably realistically 1-1, like worst case scenario. The thing is with Tottenham, right? It's like their team it's good. It's like the only thing good about their team is the attack. Like, everything else is just dead, in my opinion. Like if you like do a combined Chelsea 11 and Tottenham, I'm pretty sure it's all Chelsea apart from the attack. Maybe you can probably add in Sterling as a debate for one, but like it's probably what the match is on Sunday is going to be like. I think it's going to be like one of like the best defense versus like a good attack, in my opinion, in the league. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be 2-1, but probably 1-1 realistically.
What are you saying, Charles?
I'm going to go with 1-0. That's what I honestly think. I think we get one goal. I couldn't tell you when it's going to be. Couldn't tell you who's going to score it. But I just don't see a lot of goals in this game. But I do see a lot of yellows. So take that one to the books. A lot of yellows.
A lot of yellows.
Take that to the
There's
bookies.
some serious hatred.
Yeah. Does that involve Conte as well? Yeah, getting a red as well on the touchline.
Hey. Got
You know what? I
like
want to
that.
see Thomas Tuchel have a shout out with a manager. We haven't seen him lose his call with a manager yet.
I thought so.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He loses
Well,
his call.
I think he's had it with the
refs.
second official. He's had it with like the third
Yeah.
official.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
it with a manager. I want to see Conte do something and see how Tuchel reacts because he always tries to remain calm and composed always. So let's see.
I think he
Tobbs,
loses his head.
what are you saying, Tubbs?
I'm saying, even though I had the J5 agenda, 1-0 Chelsea.
Why do you keep saying that?
Scores.
Every say I've got a J5 agenda. I've got a J5 agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna remind everyone and check
Yeah,
the
you got to
content.
tell people why you're against J5. Even though I love him, sorry, boy, he was amazing. I kind of feel he might even be our fourth best midfielder, but that's actually no, he's second. But I'd rather 3 other midfielders play ahead.
But you said fourth. That's an insult to him, bro.
Yeah. No, I had to change to second. Even
I can see Con's muted, but he's swearing. I know he's swearing right now.
He is steaming at the ears.
He's like, I wish this was my space now. I'd go like him.
Yeah.
But I definitely see Jorginho scoring a penalty, 1-0 Chelsea. Hopefully.
Jorginho scoring a penalty for Chelsea, did you just say?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's not new.
That's very random, isn't it? Oh, well, he's the fourth best midfielder, but I feel like we might get a penalty and you win it for us.
Yeah. Oh, I might
Okay,
not be able to say this, bro. I'm texting the studio chat.
Kante, Kovacic, and Mount, are they top 3 for Chelsea, do you think?
What? The top 3 and what?
As midfielders, do you think?
Oh, no. It's
Kante,
Kovacic, Kante. I mean, we've seen Kovacic and Kante play together and have stinkers last season. Let's be serious. I thought they were the best 2 myself for time. I was like, I want Kovacic, Kante. Because Kante,
Lampard, Gerrard all over again.
Yeah,
Kovacic and Kante don't gel together. I don't know how.
They both like to do things.
No, they're not disciplined. They're not disciplined. None of them.
What?
Like,
No,
you know why? Together,
yeah.
they both like to run. I want them to play together, but when they play, like one of them, when one of them pushes up, the other one can't sit still. They both have ADHD. They both love to just move. So it just creates openings in behind them or in between them. Unfortunately, if Kante was disciplined, they'll be perfect.
What about Jovic? Jovic was the best when we were 1st till 3rd December, is what he's saying there.
Yeah,
He's
they've
got
built chemistry already.
Yeah,
That's J5 and Kovacic. Oh, yeah.
bro, our whole team drops off December, so it don't mean shit. They lose 38 games, not 19.
What are you saying, Eric Blue?
Yeah, I think the first match was a little bit too soon for the players. I don't think they were fit at all for that game. I'm hoping that the players are actually fit now and they're ready. It's going to be a tough match, but I think I was trying to like figure out, is it more likely that we score a second goal or is it more likely that we keep a clean sheet? So it's a little bit difficult. I'm not going to say 2-0. I'll say 2-1 and Sterling to get his first goal.
2-1 and Sterling to get his first goal. I've already said 3-1. I've gone for Sterling, Brace and Mason Mount to get on the score sheet.
3-1.
Yeah, man.
To the bookies, bro. That is worth something.
I love that.
Jem, I'm going to tag you in something. I don't know if this news is reliable, but there's some news. I don't know if you guys...
Tag me
as well.
Yeah, tag me in.
Chelsea Young.
Chelsea fan TV viewers, make sure that we're smashing a like. We've got we're close to the 160k subscriber mark on there, so make sure that we subscribe to the channel.
I'm only on 1k, fam. Hook me up, man.
Yeah, man.
You're up there,
I'll let you guys share your socials in a second because we're going to finish off. Also, on the GNA TV side, we've nearly got we're on our road to 8k subscribers over there. Make sure you're smashing the
like button. I'll shout out, man.
Let's get the likes up. Go on, what have you tagged me in? Let's have a quick look. Personal terms agreement between because the personal terms agreement between Wesley Fofana and Chelsea has always been a thing. That's always been passed weeks ago. What hasn't been agreed is the club agreements. It's not the personal agreement; it's the club agreement. Yeah. So
has Chelsea ever failed personal agreements with any player? I've never heard that.
No.
Like, I don't know what Chelsea offer you. Like, what do they do? Like,
Rafinha.
Let's not talk about Koundé and Rafinha, please. I don't want to do this.
No,
right
personal terms were fine. It was after this
Did someone say Crown Jewels?
No, I don't want to hear that name, Crown Jewels.
Why wouldn't we rush this deal? What's the point of agreeing it on Sunday or agreeing it on Monday when they should have just done it just so he could play in that? Even if he's not going to play, but just be available like Cucurella was. Why didn't they rush? What's the point of them rushing now?
It's the club. The club.
Apparently they are, though, according to Ben Jacobs, do because they're bringing out the intermediaries to speed it up.
Yeah, no, but they have. But the club haven't agreed.
It's just because of how much of a hardball that flipping Leicester are playing. They're playing harder ball than flipping. What's it? Them guys were. I forgot the name, man. Their team, Seagulls. The Seagulls,
Brighton.
Brighton wasn't that hard.
Nah, but they're playing hardball, but Leicester playing 10 times harder.
Guys, let's finish it off there because I do need to shoot. CFCOG, where can people find you? Go on, mate. Let them know.
Yeah, well, on my Insta and Twitter, CFCOG W6, West 6 London. Obviously, on the channel CFCOG, check it out. I'll make some decent videos. And yeah, I'll try and make a little vlog and go to the match, the aftermath, and see how it goes this Sunday.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Make sure you check that out. What about you, Jay? Is it just Twitter, yeah?
Yeah, just Twitter, JCFC11. I post outrageous takes, humorous stuff that you can just scroll through and have a laugh. And yeah.
Cool. Chelsea database. Let them know where your Twitter is, mate, because you do bring out some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my handle on the screen right now. I'll look into doing a day analysis on Tottenham game after the match. So yeah.
I'm interested to see that. Make sure you send me a thread of it as well when you do it, because I like reading into your analytics and that. It's very good, actually. Very, very good. Go and check him out. Chelsea database on Twitter. Trills, where can they find you, mate?
Oh, it's nice and easy for you. YouTube and Twitter. Trills 00. Very easy. I've got some content soon, man. Yeah.
It's his name right there. Trills 00 on YouTube. Make sure that you guys that leave here, when you leave, go and subscribe to all of these guys as well. Eric Blue, I know. You've just got Twitter, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just did with the Twitter thing so I can join the streams, man. I'm not really too bothered, but if anyone wants to follow me, my handle is @EricChels, just one word.
Big up, and Hassan as well, unnamed Rekha. Yeah, is that your name?
Yeah, it's all there. You'll see me on Twitter on about like you'll see me whenever there's Chelsea related stuff or Chelsea related spaces. Yeah.
I want to see if Con's still there. Con, are you still there, mate? Are you
yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Punch the pillow.
You know where you can find Con CFC. Con, any final words, mate? Any final thoughts yourself?
Just a friendly reminder, Jorginho finished third in Ballon d'Or. What have I got to say, to be honest?
He just has to, doesn't he? He can't help it. Anyway, guys, make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to everyone's YouTube channels and Twitters as well. Make sure you subscribe to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV before you leave. Leave a comment below and let us know what your predictions are for the scores over the weekend. We will be back for a match reaction as well to the game at some point. And hopefully with some more transfer news as well going into next week. But have a blessed weekend until then. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the weekend. It's 30 odd degrees where we are anyway. So, yeah, big up to everyone. And we'll be back again very soon. Peace out.
Cool. Peace.